Hi again, YouTubers. So this is a review on the MAC Select Moisturecover Concealer. I have this in the color NW20. This is the packaging and the color. And then this is what the actual product looks like. It's in a plastic container with a doe foot applicator. And it just twists open and close. Very easy to use. Very easy and user-friendly. You can simply dot it on around your eyes. I will put a clip here to the side that shows how I apply it two different ways. I tend to apply concealer one of two ways. I use my finger or I use a beauty blender, and I show both of those in that clip. However, because you can just dot it on where you want it and then move it around with either your finger or the beauty blender, it makes it very, very easy to apply, very user-friendly, and just gives a really nice finish. The coverage is not as much coverage as most concealers that I tend to use under eyes. Now, I will say that the ones that I tend to use and really like under eyes are things like MAC Pro Longwear concealer. I like the Tarte, what was that called? Tarte, what is this? Smooth Operator, Amazonian Clay Waterproof Concealer. I use that one. I use the Urban Decay 24/7 Concealer Pencil. Those are probably some of my favorites that another one for under eyes is Lancome, the waterproof one. Those are probably my top favorite concealers for under the eye. Now, there are other types of concealers, and just keep in mind something like this from MAC, which is I think called the Studio Finish Concealer. I'll do a different review on this. That is not for under your eyes. Some people can use it under their eyes if they have a lot of moisturizers and things like that, but it typically is a little bit too dry and tends to settle into fine lines. This is specifically made for under the eyes. It can be used in other areas on your face too, but keep in mind that those things are much more coverage than this. This is very nice. I have it on right now. It is very brightening because of the color I have. It is about one shade lighter than what I would typically do. For under eyes, I do tend to go with an NW color because the NW colors have more of a pink undertone. And as you know, salmon type concealers and brightening and pink undertone colors tend to do better under the eye and really brighten under the eye. I think this is a very nice concealer. I think this is one for days when I do not have as typical of a dark circle. When I have a really dark circle, I need to use one of those other items, but it is very easy to work with. It's very smooth. It's a very nice texture. It doesn't settle into fine lines. It sets easily with a powder. I've had no issues with that. It is just overall a very nice under eye concealer. Now, as far as using it for other areas of the face, such as dark spots or breakouts or things like that. Now, first thing I want to mention, if you are using it on some form of breakout, please make sure to take the applicator, touch it to your finger, and then use the product from there. If you put this directly onto a blemish, you are going to contaminate the little applicator, and it's going to get bacteria on it and possibly cause you to break out in other areas, and you don't want that happening. So what you want to do with this for those areas is simply put it on your finger and put it on that area and then tap it in. If it's just a dark sunspot or something like that, simply put it on the spot and then just tap it in around the area, either with your finger, beauty blender. You can use brushes as well. That is one of the few places on my face that I don't tend to use a brush, is under my eyes. So I think this is a very nice concealer. Keep in mind it is not super high coverage. It is very moisturizing and very nice and soft feeling. It is not drying, and it is easy to move around, very, very easy to move around. It is a fairly thin product, and I will show you real quick. I showed you on my finger, but you can see right there just how that's a little bit lighter than my skin tone. Has a little bit more of a pink undertone to it, but it's very smooth, and you can see it's very creamy looking. It has a nice sheen to it, but I'll show you just by using it here. You saw some of those freckles that are on my hand. Covers them up pretty good. But again, as I said, for under eyes, for some reason, it doesn't tend to get that true coverage that I want to get rid of those under eye circles on really bad days. So overall, I think this is a nice product. Let me give you my different ratings here. Pigmentation, I think it has nice pigmentation, but keep in mind, again, as I said, it is true to color of what you see here, but it is not as deeply pigmented and as dense as some other concealers. So pigmentation is a good 4 out of 5. Texture, it's very nice. It's very smooth, very easy to blend, very easy to work with. So it's a good 4 out of 5. Longevity. Now this is key here. It does not last super, super long on me. When I set it, it does do a good job and it does stay fairly long, but it is not the longest running concealer that I've used. I feel usually with this one, I feel like I might need a little bit more about midway through the day. So longevity is only about a 2 for me out of 5. Application, it's very easy to apply because of the doe foot applicator. Very easy to use if you have a blemish. Just really easy as far as application. And you can apply it, like I said, fingers, brushes, sponges, whatever works for you. So application is very easy. It's a good 5 out of 5. Packaging, I think it's nice packaging. I'm not like, wow, this is great, but I'm also not like, it's horrible. So packaging is a good 4 out of 5. Sorry, again, I'm not wowed by it. Price on this is $18, which isn't horrible. It isn't great, but keep in mind too, if you're going to buy a drugstore concealer, most of those are around the $7 to like $12 or $13, sometimes $14 range. So for that, a couple dollars more, if you like this, it's definitely worth it. So price is kind of middle of the road for me. It's pretty decent, so I'm going to give it more on the high side. It's a 4 out of 5. And the product overall, I definitely think this is a nice product. I definitely think it is great for under eyes. It does well for blemishes and for dark spots, but it's not something that is going to like not budge at all. It does move around slightly, so you do tend to have a little bit of an issue with that. So as far as overall, I'd say it's about a 4 out of 5 because, as I said, the moving around, the longevity is not very good for me. So that's kind of my key thing that brings me down a little bit. So that was my review on the MAC Select Moisturecover Concealer. If you have any other questions, please post them below. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.